Hi guys, Meredith Atwood here. Welcome to our webinar. I've got Dina Griffin with me. Hi, Dina. Now you gotta point the other way. I know, I never get it right.
Oh, geez.
Oh, well, I'm so glad to finally make this happen. So this is a Q&A session about Optimal Thrive, our new fantastic program with metabolic efficiency training. This is Dina Griffin. She's a registered dietitian and a sports dietitian with Bob Seabohar. Seabohar.
Got it. You got it.
Energy performance. And my friend calls Bob the godfather of sports nutrition. I don't even know if he made that up or
Wow.
but I said, I'll pass that along. But so if that makes Bob the godfather, that makes you the godmother, I guess.
I guess. Sounds though.
Yeah. So what we wanted to do with this webinar, guys, was have a bunch of questions answered by Dina about what the program is and what metabolic efficiency training is. And from my standpoint, my quick introduction is everything that you may have learned in prior programs, whether it was with me or Whole30. I know a lot of you have that background. The way I see Optimal Thrive fitting in is it is a next level type thing. If you're feeling great and you're healthy and you're eating your veggies and you've got all the basic nutrition down, but you're stuck or you're finding yourself, without the energy or you're confused about sports nutrition, this is like a new way of doing what you may already be doing. But then if you don't know what you're doing, it's a great starting point too. So that's kind of the simple way to explain it. So for any of the confusion that's circling around out there, that's my quick and dirty explanation. But now we're going to ask Dina. See, I'm getting it right. More detailed questions about what metabolic efficiency training is and what we're going to cover in the program. So are you ready for some questions, Dina?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Do you want to tell anyone your story? How long have you been doing metabolic efficiency training and coaching?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've been doing this type of work for 7.5, almost 8 years now with Bob, working alongside him outside of Colorado here. And prior to that, I was working in a diabetes clinic and doing some other private practice work with weight loss and working in a hospital clinical setting here in Boulder, Colorado. But sports nutrition is certainly my passion, and wellness nutrition, cardiovascular health, female health, a lot of aspects here. But I wanted to thank you, Meredith, for bringing this program together with me and offering it to so many, because I think there's so many diets and restrictive eating plans and things, and I hope for this opportunity to be very welcoming to so many and hopefully help others in the journey towards better health.
Absolutely. And I'm so thankful that we connected. This lifestyle has been, it kind of came about during a time where I was almost giving up, because I've been really steady and I've been really conscious of my nutrition and working really hard at it. And it wasn't behaving and I wasn't getting any results. And I was very fed up because you can do all the right things on paper that and then it's still not clicking for whatever reason. So I was very thankful to just have, and for those of you out there who are eating well, you're going to be surprised at how little the tweaks are, but how major the results can be. And I think that's the quickest and most easy way to define it. So let's start with a very big question.
Okay.
Do I have to eat low carb to be a part of this program? Let's talk about that once and for all.
Yeah, that's a pretty common question I get. And It's a great one because there's so many misconceptions, and I don't know exactly where all of that originates, but the bottom line is you do not have to eat low carb to be in this program or to become more metabolically efficient. Granted, some people take that route, and there are things that I want to provide guidance on for those that choose that route. For example, is it right for you, and what are the things you should pay attention to? But there are many aspects and angles here, and the bottom line, if I can be the broken record, is you do not have to eat low carb to become more metabolically efficient.
So what you're saying is that this program will take into account that we are all different people and that some things may work for others, and you're going to present options.
Yes, well said. Thank you.
Oh,
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Moment. I'm really excited to hear that we don't have to eat all low carb and do the same diet. Thank you, Dina.
Yes. Individual. Yeah, exactly. But it's really learning the various strategies, applying what's right for you. So there's no hard and fast rule that or only one way to do this thing. Right. And that's what I want to share.
Excellent. And that's what I want to share, because it was me changing things for me that made a big difference. And so that's excellent news. Okay, so let's talk about some other excellent news. Let's answer this question. Do I have to eat lots of meat and lots of fat as part of the Optimal Thrive program?
Okay, yeah, that's a good one too. You do not need to eat lots of meat and fat. In fact, you can be a plant-based eater and do well in this program. In fact, there's nothing that's extreme here. We're not looking to do anything extreme. I mean, I'll just be honest here. I'm really big on paying attention to our health. And so extremes when it comes to nutrition can be not always the best thing, right? Short term or long term. So for the meat eaters, we definitely can keep going on that path, but we want to further fine tune the placement, the amounts, what makes sense. If you are an athletic individual, where do we want to put proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, and what are the amounts to support health goals, training goals, longevity goals, and so forth? Okay.
I think this is a good time for a question that was posted on the page, on the Facebook page. I've heard that after following MET, Metabolic Efficiency Training, for a period of time, that once you stop, you will regain a bunch of weight fast and your metabolism will be all messed up. Can you let us know what actually happens and if this is a legitimate risk?
Wow. So, I'm not aware of any of those cases, but I do know for some people who do not change the behaviors surrounding our nutrition choices, right, and treat this as a hardcore deprivation diet, which it is not, but for some who may not look at all of the other things that go on within us, how we treat food, how we use food as a reward, what are the support systems in place? So there's a lot of aspects here other than just eating simple food, right? We have to make other changes in our lives to be successful, just like with so many other things in our lives. So the weight regain is possible if you haven't looked at some of the other angles in your life that need to be corrected, if that makes sense. Yes. Metabolism should not be messed up, though. My caution would be if you're not healthy to begin with, if there's some metabolic derangements or, you're having some other health issues, you want to be careful with any kind of dietary strategy you adopt. So we just need to look in the mirror, look at your own health and decide what's right for you. But, metabolism being messed up should not be an issue if you're implementing the plans appropriate for what you need.
And I think one thing with this question, and I'm glad you touched on it, is the fact that if you eat well with any program, plan, diet, whatever, and then you go to the other end of the planet, you're going to gain weight. I mean, if you're trying to be healthy and you go like this, that's okay. Like, you're going to vacillate a little bit, but I think anytime you go off to the other end of the universe, of course you're going to do damage to your body. You're going to regain weight. You're emotionally going to be exhausted. So I think that question can be answered in both ways. And I think that we covered it very well. So high five.
Okay. Yeah. Good job.
High five that way.
Wait, this way?
This way. Yeah. High five. Excellent. We will get that down, Dina. We will get it.
I'll get it.
High five in order. Okay. I think we covered that one. So let's move on to this question. Race season is just starting for me, and I've heard that the first 2 weeks of this program or any program can be really tough. I need to make sure that I have enough food for fuel, especially through this month or through the month of June, which is my busiest race month. I tend to get famished during high training times, and I'm not good at filling these voids with healthy options. So this question is basically asking, how much are you going to die during the first 2 weeks?
Oh, boy. Yeah. And, that depends on this person's starting point, which, it'd be great if I could learn the background of every single person in this program and have all of that insight. And I'm going to learn a lot about the members, and I'm really excited about that. But, depending on where you're starting, and you and I had talked about this previously, if you're on a junk food diet, the seafood diet, you see everything and eat everything, then
right.
And you make an abrupt change, then yeah, your adaptation period, no matter if it's something I'm guiding you on or you're following Weight Watchers, it doesn't matter. You will feel some differences there, and just cleaning up what you're nourishing the body with. So there's that. I can say some people do feel the effects in that first week or two. Again, it depends on where you're starting from, what strategy you're implementing, and then how hardcore you take this thing. So, we can certainly address all of that together in the program. The other part of that question being the races coming up and things, hunger and so forth. So yeah, we want to eat, honor hunger, be well fueled to do the remaining workouts that you have in the time that you have prior to your big races coming up. So there's no need to do, starvation things here or anything that will affect your ability to do remaining workouts or live happily.
Yeah. I've actually found that, I think, like you said, the beginning was a little iffy, but it wasn't any iffier than any time I cleaned up my eating prior, and I was, so there's that. But I did find that very quickly, the biggest benefit of this way and lifestyle is that I'm not hungry. And that for me is everything, because I'm almost to the point now where I have to make myself eat lunch because I'm not hungry, and that's great. That is great coming from someone who's always hungry. And so kind of once you get over that little hump, which, like I said, would be with any new step, that the benefits are so awesome. And then also when it translates into your training, how far you can go before you need any nutrition. Like if you eat a meal and then it's like 2 hours later and you're like, well, I guess I should probably have some sports nutrition now. Like you feel so good and you're able to go so much longer without the extra sports nutrition, which is incredible to me. But we'll, that's later. So, okay. So the next question we'll do, gotta find it. Scrolling. There it is. Okay. What is the difference between the keto diet, ketogenic, and metabolic efficiency, which is being taught in Optimal Thrive? Is there a difference?
Okay. Yep. So nutritional ketosis is by definition 30 to 50 grams of net carbohydrate per day. Metabolic efficiency training, there's no limit on carbohydrate. What we're doing is controlling carbohydrate, periodizing.
Wait. Hold on, Dina.
Okay.
Did you say there's no limit on carbohydrates? I just want to make sure. I don't.
There's no quantitative, strict, you have to be at X number of grams.
Okay.
I know but we are trying to be choosy, smart with carbohydrate placement, support your health goals, your training goals. You do not have to implement that very low carbohydrate ketosis type plan in order to be following metabolic efficiency training. And we will go over all of the strategies together and give ideas on meals. What does it look like? Again, we're talking about, and I know you've mentioned this, Meredith, in your posts, like we're learning how to stabilize blood sugar, but we all have different thresholds for how to do that. Right. So I am not following a ketosis plan right now. I have done that, right, because I want to experience all of the different strategies for myself. Hopefully I'm answering the question here on what's the difference. So metabolic efficiency is not very restrictive on the carbohydrates. It can include that, but we do not have to follow that strict plan.
And I think one thing that needs to be clarified, because someone's saying, well, week 3 on your syllabus includes ketosis. Again, this is an educational group coaching program where you're going to be presented with a lot of strategies to get you to metabolic efficiency. Ketogenic eating is a strategy used to enhance your health from being better for cancer, diabetes. It can be a strategy to burn fat for people that are super obese. It's a strategy, and we will talk about it. That doesn't mean that that's what the whole program is. So that's the clarification.
Exactly.
So,
good.
Okay, good. High five. Let's see. Where do we? Sorry, Dina, you're new to my silliness. You will get used to it.
I love it. I'm loving.
I'll take this question. The next question is, I mainly want to know the difference between this and Swim Bike Fuel 3HU. I want some clarification on what the difference will actually be. Okay, the difference is that Dina is the writer of the program, so it's her program. So it's not the same program. That's the main clarification. There's nothing similar. There's nothing taken from that program and brought here. So this is a completely 100% fresh program. Secondly, the prior programs were very beneficial and fantastic programs. They are very educational as to what you need to do to get your health right and to get your, educational in the lines of what veggies you should eat and what are healthy fats and how you need to deal with your feelings instead of eating them. And fantastic program. So the difference between this and that is I consider this kind of, once you've gotten through a lot of the big foundational hurdles, is what they feel like to me. When you start to see your nutritional foundation and your emotional eating, and you have an idea of what that looks like. This to me was next level. Like I said, I had worked all the things I knew. I had gotten so far, and then I stood still. Like there was nothing. So at that point, it became a question of, okay, what is my nutritional strategy? And I realized that I didn't have a personal nutritional strategy. I didn't have my what's next. Like, what is my nutritional philosophy as an individual, as a person? What did I do? And I realized I didn't have a do. And maybe that works for some people. You know, a lot of people can reach their health goals and then not have a strategy. But for someone who struggled with their weight, who struggles with everything in general, I needed a next step, a next logical step and program and strategy and plan to implement that was going to give me some results, because I was stuck. And so that's where metabolic efficiency comes in. The difference between the two programs is here and there. They complement each other, certainly. Building a strong health foundation certainly complements metabolic efficiency. They can go hand in hand, and you know, these are not opposing dichotomies. They are very complementary. If it was something here and here, I wouldn't even touch it, because I've benefited so well from my foundation. So all this is saying, are you stuck, or do you want to take it to the next level? Come here, because this is what this is. This is what broke through to me. This is continuing to be a lifestyle. It's still not a diet, but it's a way that's tweaked it for me, that has made a lot of changes. And for someone who doesn't know what the heck I'm talking about, what are these prior programs? They're no longer offered. I don't have them, so don't worry about it. So if you're starting fresh, you will get a primer of where to start, a whole health primer. And it's going to be short, but you can start from ground zero with metabolic efficiency and do very well. So that's my answer to the differences in the program. So hopefully that was fair and equitable and honest.
Perfect.
I was aiming for those things. Okay, the next question is, let me see, I gotta scroll. Okay. I think many folks, and I too, have races starting soon, and I don't want to change my nutrition plan. What is a girl to do? Do you want me to take that one?
What's a girl to do? Well, you can start if you'd like. I'll add to it.
Okay, so if what you're doing, if your life is a perfect circle and it's working and you're rolling, why are you even asking a question? Like, go and roll. Like, do what you're doing.
Roll with it.
Roll with it. Like, if you've got your life dialed in, if your nutrition is perfect and you're happy, then don't fix it if it ain't broke. Do you agree?
True that.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much to add. I mean, I think I applaud people who are curious about the program and want to further their health. And maybe you don't know if you're totally healthy, but you feel good and you're training well, you're recovering well, and you just go do this race and kick some butt. And then if you have some struggles, some things aren't right, you know, later on, I have a feeling I'll be around, or I hope to be around with you, Meredith. So, you know, there will be an opportunity to join up later on. And that's great. But yeah, I'm with you, Meredith. I think if all is good, then go with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not in the business of just selling you a new car when you have a fine car. Like, my whole mission and the things I've been doing for the last 7 years have been like, here's my story. Here's how I have made progress to the next step with myself and my story. And so that's all I'm doing here. Like, this is a fabulous opportunity that I've had, and ta-da! So I'm super excited with this. So one other question. Oh, we might have two more. Why do you think we covered the question of if you're racing in 2 months? You know, because this is June. Do you think we covered adequately if you're racing in 2 months? is it a good idea to start this program? Do you think we covered that, or do you want to expand on it a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, if everything is fine, I think, there may not be a need to be in this program. If you are suffering with energy lulls, you're just not feeling right. I mean, I think one of the things would be for the athletes out there, if there's some GI distress, so digestive troubles, especially in training, or if you've done a few little mini races to prepare and practice your training and race day nutrition, if you are having gas, bloating, not tolerating what you are putting in the body, there is time to address that.
Okay.
I mean, you may want to be a little more aggressive and sooner than later, right? So again, I think I'm not saying you shouldn't join this if you only have 2 months until your race, but if you're having some troubles, then I think it's wise to pursue some help and not put up with misery.
Yeah. And I think too, I mean, when I started 2 years ago, when I was like, I've had enough, I'm suffering in many ways, in nutrition and life and drinking and all these things, I made the first step 5 days before a half Ironman. And I changed everything 5 days before. But that's also looking at my starting point. So my starting point was crap,
Okay.
so me
Yeah.
to healthy. And I don't know, I would have been better making the change than continuing with the crap, I guess. So I think it goes back to that question of where are you starting? I think if your sports nutrition is a mess and your health is a mess and you're trying to do a Hail Mary, and I'm not saying that this person is, so I don't know who wrote the comment. So I'm not talking about you. But if you're someone who is doing a Hail Mary 70.3 anyway, then this, come on, because every change is going to be a beneficial change. But like Dina said, if you've got, your day-to-day nutrition sort of nailed down and you need help on the sports stuff, then yes, I'm kind of with Andy Potts on this. Like, everything new on race day. Like, I feel like that experiment, it's, how are you going to know it works unless you try it before a race? I don't know. So I'm never
Right.
really in a fearful, because here's the thing, someone wouldn't ask that question if there wasn't a concern. Like, if things are I think a lot of this, if things are perfect, you're not going to even ask a question about this program. So, and I think if you've got a concern and, we can answer the question, address it, then I think it's something that you might want to consider, just because if things are perfect, people are clicking through my post and waiting until I complain about my children or something. They're not even affected by the dietary post. So I think if you have a question, then
Good point.
you have a concern. So
Yeah.
okay, so Dina, when they sign up for this program, you are going to tell everyone exactly what they should and should not eat, correct? Oh, no?
I don't think so. No.
Oh.
You. Yeah, that's the beauty of this program, because we want to individualize it, even though it's a group setting. This is not a deprivation plan that you cannot have a cookie or whatever it is that are your treat foods or whatever, things you think you cannot have. I want to guide the participants in this lovely program to learn how to support their own personal health goals or your training and racing goals. And you don't have to be an athlete to be in this program, but we each have things that we're striving for, right? Whether it's living a long, healthy life, or being able to play with our kids without having a sore back, or to do our first Ironman race, whatever it is. All of that to say, I will provide guidance on what we know through science, through evidence, through the work I've been doing over the last 8 years in this specific area. what are the things that support your goals? And so even though we're in a group setting, there will be things that you will take away personally to apply to your own individual life. So for example, if you don't eat meat, I'm not going to tell you to eat meat, but I will guide you on how to structure all of the other foods that you do like to better support whatever it is we're working on, right? So if that's weight loss, fat loss, I need better energy, I need to recover better from my workouts. I need to just learn how to get out there and start working out, even though we're not giving a big workout program here, but we're giving tips to support whatever your physical goals are as well. Right. So yeah, I'm not going to dictate every morsel of food you put in your mouth, but provide guidance on the things that are better or more healthful and supportive of your goals.
Very good. Very good. I think that's all the questions that I had before we started. So maybe some came in and we can continue to address on the Facebook page. But I am very excited, Dina, and I know a lot of people.
Too.
We've had a great response so far, you guys, and I know that a lot of you are ready to, take it to the next level and learn how to be the best you possible. And one of the big takeaways from metabolic efficiency is the whole primary goal is to balance your blood sugar. And I know that that's been a question and a goal through all the other programs is to get that blood sugar balance. And that is a continued goal in this program. This is a continued goal to keep you psychologically sane, even though none of us are psychologists. We're going to look at the emotional components. That is also covered. And Dina will give you hugs too. We will hug you and love you like we always do in any programs that I'm attached to. And then I will tell you, you cannot sell your shakes here either. So, good cop and bad cop will remain. But, I'm really excited about this opportunity, and that's exactly what it is. It's a great opportunity to learn about some very scientific-backed methodologies that can benefit your life. So anything else to add, Dina?
I'm looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be more fun than what we realize. And I'm all about touchy-feely, but I want the fellas to join in too. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, boys can come.
Yeah, right. But we should all be enjoying food and making it part of our lives in a very happy way, right? And I know there may be a lot of personal struggles out there with different backgrounds and things, but this is going to be a very supportive program, especially with you, Meredith, providing all of your support as well. And just the interaction with the group will be very supportive and fun. So I'm just looking forward to it.
Me too. So the best way to ask any more questions will probably be on the Facebook page. If the questions are covered in this video, we're going to tell you to watch the video, which I don't need to tell you if you're watching the video and made it this far. But anyway, I was just...
Yeah, thank you.
Hopefully we've answered the question. If we've covered it in here, then we've got a resource. So registration, so we start June 4th with a webinar, and then June 5th will be kind of the structure of the program starting off. So check out the syllabus on the Facebook or on my webpage. It's on my website, but it's Optimal Thrive Nutrition. It's housed there. But there's like a schedule and kind of what we're going to offer. The structure is something that we came up with. It's different than any other program that I've done or currently doing. So your expectations are brand new. There's going to be all sorts of surprises. Maybe even, I don't know, I might have confetti at some point. But thank you guys for taking the opportunity to listen and to get to know Dina a little better. She is truly a gem, you guys. People are so excited when they're like, oh my gosh, you guys are working together. And I feel the same way. I feel very grateful to have Dina get to know you guys too. So thanks a lot. Registration will close. We don't have a definitive date yet, but I would say with it starting June 3rd, June 2nd, please, if you're, thinking about it, let's try and get you in no later than that date so I can make sure that everyone's safe and secure in the Facebook group. So, all right, kids. Well, it's been fun.
Hey.
Thanks for the
Thank
opportunity.
you.
Bye.